a documentary about the life and career of a rebellious but also fascinating punk artist. Let's talk about Don't Fall in Love with Yourself. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watch Or Pass. I'm here to talk to you about Don't Fall in Love with Yourself, which released digitally and on demand on August 20th, 2024. It is a documentary about Justin Pearson's life and career in the San Diego punk scene, some of the bands that he started and kind of toured with, some of his experiences, and also just like some of the great music that he helped make. I love this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I like documentaries. I like music. I like, going to live shows. This film had all of that. So I definitely think you should check it out. My hot take is I think you should watch it. It is just a really interesting and also kind of like honest and insightful documentary about, an artist, his life, his career, with some interesting stories, a degree of candor that is, appreciated, and also some really fantastic music. So I definitely think you should check it out. It's available digitally and on demand. Definitely make sure to put it on your list. So I'm going to quickly tell you a little more of the movie. A few things I liked. Really wasn't anything I didn't like. There was one minor thing I'm going to go into. I'm not really going into spoilers of documentary. It's about his life, so there really isn't much point to spoiling it, but it will be a short, quick, spoiler-free review. So in Don't Fall in Love with Yourself, you get the story of Justin Pearson, who is a San Diego punk artist. He started playing in bands when he was like 15, started touring when he was 15, has a fascinating life, and just a bunch of very interesting artistic and musical choices that he's made as he's gone through his career, started a bunch of bands. Some of the bands he's well known for, some of the bands are less well known, but they all have this like aggressive, loud, rebellious spirit that is kind of like endemic of underground punk. So it is just a great story. There's a lot of really great music, a lot of really interesting experiences, and it's just kind of a fascinating journey. So, things I liked about this movie. The first, I like Justin Pearson. I did not know who he was. Full confession, I had no idea who he was. I did not know any of his bands. I generally like not mainstream bands, but these are bands I've never heard of, and it was just fun to like hear his story, hear things that he has done, hear about the different types of music and his musical influences. He's just a really interesting character that you want to like learn more about, and so he kind of fuels this documentary throughout. The second thing I love the level of candor. There is definitely, some honest experiences that are brought up, some things that happened to Justin when he was younger that helped shape who he is, and some of the experiences with the band members that were influences in his music caused certain things to happen in his music. And I liked hearing it. It's a very kind of honest documentary. It's a pretty open documentary. Justin kind of like feels like he has almost no filter. So you get some really interesting insights throughout. The third thing I love the stories. Like the some stories are told by Justin, some stories are told with archival footage, and some stories are told by friends. There are some, bandmates that get involved here, some old friends, some people that have helped Justin in his career. So the main anchor point is Justin's stories, but then you get peppered with like stories from other artists and how they interacted with us and how they saw this show. And you see some very kind of like random things that have happened in all of their lives and some crazy shows they've been to, and you get to see all of this through archival footage and through people that were there. It is just a fun collection of different experiences that you get to watch. And the last thing I love the music. It is a musical documentary. There are clips of the bands that Justin's been in. There are clips of the influences. There's a lot of songs. Maybe you don't like the music. I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. It's definitely not a genre I normally listen to, but hey, I like listening to music. This was a more kind of like hardcore, heavy punk, rebellious type of music. Justin called it, what is it, annoying? Is the kind of music he says he makes, just annoying music, just so that like people don't ask too much about it. But it is definitely an interesting genre, and it's fun to like hear all of these songs, and also the progression. It goes from like, I don't know, unpolished, if you want to call it that, to like more experimental, more kind of like music that's influenced by other different genres, and that's just trying to like try something new. So you get to see that whole musical progression throughout. So all that being said, things I didn't love as much. I mean, it really isn't much. I guess it would have been nice to have more. Like it's not a short documentary, it's an hour and a half, but it feels like there is, an interesting start with his life and then a few of the bands. And then it seems like a large part of this documentary is about his band, The Locust, which is probably, I don't know if it's his most successful one, but it's the one they spend the most time on, and probably the one that has like the most, wide, recognition. So it makes sense that they would spend that time, but it feels like they spent a big chunk of time on the Locust and then like little smatterings here and there in the build to the Locust. So it'd been nice to like, I don't know, maybe just have more stories. I liked hearing the stories. Maybe have some other bands take a little bit more time. I know it's difficult with a documentary. There's so much information. You got to put it into like one digestible chunk, but I just wish there was more. And you know what? If I wish there was more, that's actually usually a good thing. I like this documentary. I wanted more stories. I wanted to hear more about it. So again, a minor thing. I do really love this documentary. I thought it was fantastic. So definitely check out Don't Fall in Love with Yourself, which released digitally and on demand on August 20th, 2024. You can get it at any of your retailers. Definitely check it out. It is fun, it is energetic, and it has some really great music. So check it out and let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked and didn't like. I would love to hear it. And if you like this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.